Computer. We're just doing 15 minutes. All right, we're on. Hi.
Hi.
I am Evelyn Tinsley, and I'm here with my daughter, Natasha Henderson. She's not Tinsley anymore. She hasn't been Tinsley for 2 years now. She's
technically only 6 months.
Well, yeah.
I don't like paperwork.
You weren't in a real hurry to get your... How does that work anyway? Because you get your license, your marriage license.
Yeah.
And on the marriage license, you were Natasha Henderson or Tinsley?
I think it says Tinsley. I don't know what the license says. But you have to sign it the day of, and the day of your name's not legally changed.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
And then a year and a half later,
then you're like, finally, I'm going to stand in line at the Social Security office and the mean people at the DMV, and then you get it done.
They're the same people that work here. How do they do that? And I mean, it's so funny. If you run into somebody nice, it's kind of like, what's happening? Like you've gotten into another orbit.
And then the lady was like, oh, somebody was putting the pressure on you. I was like,
okay. So now you're officially Henderson. All right. And you change your Facebook name, or did you already have that?
Yeah, I probably changed that first so that he would feel like my name was changed, even if it wasn't legal.
Yeah. Good move. Because then he wouldn't know,
Yeah.
Now, on my phone, you're still Tinsley.
Most of my friends, I didn't change their names.
Okay.
But I know who you are.
Yes, I do know who you are. So, that's good. So, anyway, today is Good News Friday. Good News Friday. Hey. So, I guess that means we got to share some good news. Share some good news. So,
what's good?
What is good? Well, I'm always talking about food, I feel like, but I went to Deep Roots and they had my favorite sushi roll. It was the last one, and I got it.
That crab one you had last week? Oh, yeah, that's good
and
stuff.
I had some more today. Yeah.
Good stuff.
So, I don't know if that's really good news, but it was good for me because that's what I wanted. And I would have been sad had it not been there.
Yeah.
So that's part of the good news. I'm sure I can think of something else.
I've got good food news too, because I just had Lexington barbecue from, I don't know, some Lexington barbecue place that my father-in-law suggested. And it was really good. And those just like middle of nowhere barbecue spots are always the best.
Okay. Yeah. In North Carolina.
Yeah. I have to check because North Carolina has a barbecue trail, and my coworkers used to always talk about trying all the different spots and eating all the barbecue. So
do you remember the name of the place you went to today? Lexington barbecue place.
They didn't even have
that's not in Lexington.
No, it was in Lexington.
It was in Lexington.
But like the sign just said like pit charcoal barbecue, like it was just very
that place,
very North Carolina.
Yeah. That place. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a long ways from where you were? You were in
It was about 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes. It was worth the drive.
Yeah.
It was worth the drive. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
My tummy is happy.
Happy tummy. We got to keep that tummy happy these days.
Yes.
Yes. You got something big coming up in October. How do you feel about having an October baby?
I think October is a cool month for it. I know, because like I didn't think of it, but then people started telling me what like their sun sign was going to be, and they're like, oh, some people are like, oh, you're gonna have a Libra, and then other people are like, yay, Libra, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either. But my brother, his birthday is October 9th.
Okay.
And I like my brother.
Mm-hmm. And like Viana's birthday is October 4th. And I'm like, oh, Viana's great. Like, sure. We'll be fine.
When I think of people that have birthdays that would be around that time, I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Am I not supposed to say names?
Well, whose name?
I said Rihanna's name.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
They don't know which one. She may not mind. So I'm about to edit that.
But no, it's all good. But yeah, so I don't know. I think October everybody likes fall, so fall babies. Everybody gotta like fall babies too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So so we were coming together to talk about summer too. That was something. It's Good News Friday, but we were also going to talk about the summer because is it officially summer yet?
I think the 21st of June. Okay. I think it's later in June, but it feels like summer.
So does that coincide with the summer solstice?
With the days getting longer, isn't that what solstice? I don't know.
Solstice is actually the longest day of the year.
Yeah.
And then after that, it starts getting shorter.
I don't know when summer solstice is. I thought that was a little bit later, though.
Okay. All right. If anybody knows, let us know.
Google knows.
We'll ask Google. But yeah, so, you know, your dad and I will celebrate our 34th anniversary this month. And, you know, I had been blue skying all the things we could do for our anniversary, go to Belize, you know, travel somewhere. And then this year, Rona hit. Rona. So I'm like, let's just go to Red Lobster, get a takeout. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Rona definitely made everybody adjust and like, what's the right word?
Like, adapt.
Yeah, adapt. It's like what's really important.
Don't adopt.
We can
adapt, but
scale
don't
back. Scale back all the expectations. I think that's what Rona has done.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, everybody's having to make sacrifices. So, I mean, I guess in a sense it is the sacrifice, but I don't know. At one point, I was hoping that June would get here and we'd be able to feel free to go at least to the beach, but I really don't want to go to the beach.
See, I really want to go to the beach, and the beach is summer to me, but I don't know. I don't want to get out because, you know, you see the pictures, there are a ton of crowds. Nobody's really social distancing. And, you know, if you go out there, then you're contributing to the crowd. And it's like, all I want is some breeze and waves. What do I have to do to get that? I think we should take turns. I think people should sign up and say, we're going to the beach here and you go
there
here.
Should be a sign up list.
Let's have some shifts.
Yes.
So everybody gets some beach.
Yeah. Because I'm actually about 3 hours on the beach. I'm good.
Yeah. That's because that's a good amount of time. And then you go find some shrimp and then you leave.
Yeah. So.
And
popsicles. Yeah. So we'll be eating some popsicles. And I told your dad, maybe we could just take the chairs and put them out in the back lawn. Why are you laughing? I'm serious. I was even thinking maybe we could get a little a big umbrella, nice big umbrella. I know, but it's not the way I really want an umbrella to be to really block the sun because our backyard gets all the sun, and I'm not all about just sitting in the sun. So I want a nice umbrella, and then I was going to get some chairs and make some cold drinks and sit out in the sun a little bit.
So I was on Amazon and I want to order an inflatable pool, and then you just sit in that in your backyard and you can get your umbrella and chairs. And then it's like, hey, I have my own private little pool.
Little oasis.
You don't have to go anywhere except the backyard. It could work. A little bit. Like we said, adapt.
Yeah.
No crowds. Because every time they say, okay, we're going to open the public pools, it's like, who's going to wipe down all them chairs and all that stuff? It's a lot. And then, like, how does Rona travel through water? They haven't talked about that.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking that salt kills everything, right?
Yeah. Maybe.
So anyway, I can wait another year, but I can't wait for sun. So that's why I want to
Okay.
get out in the sun. And you've been kind of inside a little bit longer than usual, maybe a lot of times. So I do need the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're planning on doing. So you think Chris is gonna pack you up and take you to the beach? Like, y'all could do a day trip.
That's what a day trip would be really nice. But when I brought it up to him, he was not for it. He's funny because he doesn't want to do stuff like that would be crowded. But I have to like keep reminding him to put his mask on to go in the grocery store, which is obviously worse because it's in closed air instead of like open air. But whatever, we all have to hold each other accountable wherever we need.
Yeah. But the one thing about it that more than anything is that while you're expecting, just try to enjoy yourself and don't worry about things. Don't worry about
who doesn't worry. First of all, but I feel like as soon as you get pregnant, you're worried because you're like, what if something happens? It's like all this stuff out there, and there's all these things that can, I don't know. It's just like from like the little weird things to the more common things. It's like, what? How can you not worry about anything? And then you get a pandemic, and you're like, don't worry. How?
Well, I heard some people say about limiting their time, even hearing about that news. Is that something you do? Limit the amount of time you actually hear about all that going on?
I stopped watching the news years ago because because it's usually negative and it can like overwhelm you. And so what I'm consuming now is like purposeful going to get information. So I feel like it's limited to maybe like twice a week reading up on some stats, but I don't know. It's still on my mind more than
it's still on your mind. And we've been talking about a little bit, my website is about abundant life, and abundant life begins where fear ends. And I started this study, when I was reminded where Jesus talks about the thief, and the thief comes but to kill, steal, destroy, but he's come that we might have life and have it more abundantly. And so I think I don't think we need any help finding fear, and finding worry. We don't need any help with that.
No.
But we do need some help, finding that abundance, that's supposed to be there. That is there. It actually is there. And so it teaches us that even though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear
no evil. That's true.
And so in those moments when the fear does make itself, rear its little ugly head, are you able to turn that over to the Lord?
Yes. I don't know where I'm turning it over to. Because it's either like, suppression, where you're just like, okay, we're just not going to go there.
Right.
But I don't know if I've actually been like, surrendering it.
And that is a different activity to say, oh, I'm not going to talk about it. I think that we can do that for a certain amount of time, but after a while it bubbles back up in some kind of way. But to actually come to the conclusion that there are some things I can do things about, and there are some things I cannot do anything about. And these things that keep coming up in my mind are not in my control. But Lord, they're in your control. So I'm going to hand these over to you. And not only that, but the fact that sometimes the worry when you're thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow steals. There's the stealing. The thief steals from the joy of this very moment.
Yeah.
And so that too, makes it where you want to, I'm okay in this moment. I'm okay, if there's something I can do about tomorrow, I will do that today if I can do it today. But if I can't do a thing about it, let's move on. So I don't know if that would be considered a discipline. You know,
yeah,
maybe,
I think so. I think that does take discipline.
Yeah,
yeah,
to kind of let that go.
Yeah.
But I think it's especially important when you're expecting to let other people worry about the things that you can't do nothing about.
Yeah.
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 So that's okay. Well, thank you for joining my podcast today.
This is fun.
It is.
I've always wanted to be on a podcast.
And now you're on one. Look at God. Giving you the desires of your heart. Of course, you'll probably have your own podcast one day, and
we'll see.
It'll be much better than Mama's.
Whatever.
All right, we're gonna say bye-bye. Air hug, air hug, air hug.
What is this?
That's all we can do. Okay. Oh. That's all the hugs we're getting.